Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever was... Oh dear, somebody was on YouTube. I'm just looking down at the analytics. Somebody was on YouTube and left. Oh, you poor thing, you left like 10 seconds too early. Hello, and welcome back to Coldborough Farm, for those of you watching the VOD, I guess, because currently YouTube is empty. Why is my webcam pointed slightly down? That's better. No, that's not better. That's better. There we go. I have the game paused. Good. I do have everything set up correctly. I was worried. So, we're picking up where we left off in the video, because I couldn't be bothered doing anything while I was watching wrestling. It was actually reasonably good. And I watched Raw last night and I still woke up early-ish. It's a minor miracle. So we're gonna finish off this field today, hopefully. And I am mildly concerned, I will be honest, I am mildly concerned about soil mod going a bit mental with the nutrients. That is concerning. I'm not gonna lie, soil mod is going a bit mental with the nutrients. I think I know what's causing it. I think the stubble cultivator mod is interfering with soil mod in a negative way. Because, to put it bluntly, the soil nutrients shouldn't be shooting up the way they are. The nitrogen should not be shooting up the way that it is. I think what's happening, and I have no proof of this at all, I think what's happening is soil mod is getting confused because the stubble cultivator is now thinking the stubble is a crop, and because I'm cultivating the stubble into the ground, it is now thinking that it is like giving me the crop boost for nitrogen, which is not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, because I'm kind of concerned that's gonna screw with yields once the harvest comes around. That's a genuine concern. That's an issue. So if you're in chat, feel free to say hello. Is it all loaded up? I don't know if chat's loaded up on the stream. I do have the chats loaded up on my screen, but the one message I can see is not visible on the stream, which is confusing. I may have to do a test. So if you're on Twitch, number one, I can't see you. You are invisible to me. You should count that as a bonus, because I do tend to call people out. I can see there are 4 people watching on YouTube. I'm kidding about it being a bonus, by the way. Just in case, you know, if you are watching on Twitch, do feel free to say hello. I know Sevidus was streaming Farm Sim yesterday. That was a bit of a shock to the system, I will admit, because he is a, for lack of a better word, a shoutcaster. He does enjoy his loud and energetic casts, and Farm Sim doesn't necessarily lend itself to that style very well. I didn't watch the stream at all, so if he's streaming it again today, which I think he will be, I may just pop into that later on. See exactly what the hell he does. Apparently he's farming in Idaho somewhere. So, that's gonna be worth watching potentially. So I'm gonna, if he's doing it again, because I saw he had, I think he had Courseplay, which was kind of amazing. Because that isn't an easy mod to learn. It's easier than Saw mod, granted, but Courseplay is not an easy mod to learn for beginners. That said, he's a programmer and stuff, so he's I said he's literally an astrophysicist. He should be able to figure out Courseplay fairly easily. You know, if Courseplay is causing him problems, he's got bigger issues. Yeah, he I believe has a PhD now. Last time I watched him, he was like going for the PhD. He might have quit. I don't know. He's one of the few shouty people I can kind of stand for a certain period of time. But yeah, we're all back together now and it's all good. I did take the day off yesterday because I woke up at 4 o'clock and pretty much got out of bed when I got a call for dinner at 4:30. So I was like, I'm glad I didn't decide to stream today. It would have been a short ass stream either way. That said, today we're going until 6. I may do some off-cam work because I don't think people want to watch me cultivate for like 8 hours. Hello Jim, how you doing today? I don't think people want to watch me like cultivate incessantly for like 6, 8, 10 hours, so I think I'll just start doing some off-cam work tonight and farm sim and chill. Can't complain. Oh, I'm good, I'm good. Bit tired, but that's kind of a bonus. Because I actually woke up at a human time today. That wasn't... Like, I got out of bed at 1:30, 2 o'clock, which is... that's fine. I woke up at like 10 or 11, so... I'm quite happy to be tired. Especially seeing as I did like everything I want to do over the weekend. I got to watch... Or I watched Payback, I watched Raw last night. I was... mostly pleased with what happened. I can't complain too much about that, unfortunately. Much as I'd like to complain about LOL Roman wins, it kinda sorta made sense for him to win. Except it didn't. I mean, there were some really dodgy calls by WWE Creative. Again, but it's hardly surprising at this point. That's just flat out cultivating. I'm gonna turn off the GPS and just... That wasn't flat out cultivating, lovely. Okay. So let's line up here. I'm just gonna turn off GPS entirely for a minute. Line up here. And we're gonna disc this under. So what did everybody do for the weekend? Get up to anything exciting and fun? Because literally all I did was sit in my ass watching wrestling. That was like the high point of my weekend, was I watched wrestling. Because that's my version of a soap opera. What am I what am I doing? I'm just rocking the tractor back and forth. I whip my discs back and forth, I whip my discs back and forth, what? I'm gonna have to be really careful about where I end this. That should do. And yes, I am actually using a manual camera at the moment. I do still have the camera on. Hey Ford! How are you doing today? I do still have my camera mod installed. I'm actually going to... camera movement off. And look backwards off. Awesome. So I just turned off the camera mod that I normally use because it's kind of irritating when I need to use a manual camera like this, or when I want to do. You're good? I'm good, I'm tired. But not in a negative way. I'm tired because I have started to become human again, not a vampire. Didn't sleep a lot last night, but what sleep I did get was good sleep. Do I know ETS2 multiplayer? Yes, I have tried it literally once when I had terrible internet and it did not work out well for me. It was just a lag fest. But I am aware that it exists. I believe ATS uses the same multiplayer client. Or the same guys who come up with ATS multiplayer because SCS gave them access to some code. Which, by the way, props to SCS for doing that. They added a car? What do you mean they added a car? Like, do the mods now drive around in cars instead of trucks? Because that'll make a hell of a lot more sense than just random trucks with a ton of beacons slapped on top of them, set around the map. I have downloaded a couple new mods today. One of which I may well get. It depends on how much I can get for a sale. I should say, I'm not going to be buying anything in this stream today. So if you're expecting to see me buying a million new things, no. That's not going to happen. All sales and purchases of equipment will be in videos. Pilot, normal car, police skins for admins only. That actually makes sense. I've kind of... One of my issues with ETS multiplayer has been that the the admins have just been set around in trucks with a million beacons set on top. But now with the police, for lack of a better word, police cars available to them, it makes a lot more logical sense. So I might re-download the ETS2 MP client. I don't know yet though. It really depends on whether I can be bothered, quite honestly, whether I can be bothered getting the Euro Truck DLC that I don't already have, because I don't have Scandinavia, I don't have... I know France is coming out soon. Props to SCS for continuing work on ETS2, and ATS could very easily just be like, yeah, we care about this game more now. Cars go 120, brakes are literally not there, it's easy to flip. That sounds like fun to me. Considering the madness I get up to in Project Cars. Which, by the way, last night I got a bit bored and started planning out Project Cars streams. Because of course I did. I have 4 hell videos planned out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of streams planned out. All for Project Hell. And all the weeks are different themes. I found different themes in cars. This is without even looking at the car list, so I might be able to find more. Well, I need to look at the car list again to find more cars for videos. I definitely need to find more cars for videos. In fact, I don't really play Euro Truck all that much. Like, most of my free time is doing something or other for the stream, and then like deciding I want to play some WWE or something. Which, by the way, Raw last night was actually quite good. First time I've been able to say that, like, ever. Raw was... I felt like it filled out a couple of stories. It was a bit silly in places, and could have been better. But it was definitely very solid, especially after Lol Roman wins at Payback. Nope. Nope. DLC for any game. To be honest, I have most of the DLCs that I want. That's the thing. Is like, I've got all the Farm Sim DLCs. I've got the ATS DLC that's out. WWE 2K16 came with all DLCs. And any DLCs that I want, I've got a small bit in my bank account. If it's something for the channel can pay for it, because there is a bit of money in the PayPal account. You know, it's that weird situation where, like, I don't need anything for the channel right now, which is awesome. ATS had a DLC, yes, the wheel tuning pack for it. It just allows you to paint up the rims and stuff. It's pretty basic. It's if you get it, you actually get the ETS2 wheel tuning pack as well, which makes it good value for money, because it's like, I think €6 or €7. If it was just ATS and just like the ability to paint stuff on the wheels, I'd say nah, that's a complete waste of money. But the fact you get 2 for 1 suddenly turns it into value for money. But yeah, I actually want to talk about Payback real quick. Don't think you get it too good for you. Well, it's for ATS and ETS. You get both DLCs at once. So, I mean, if you've only got one of the two games, yeah, don't get it. If you got both, it allows for just extra customization. It's like one of the paint DLCs, one of the paint job DLCs. It's a nice little addition. It's not game changing or 100% necessary, but it's definitely a nice little thing for them to have brought out, just as kind of we will be selling small primarily aesthetic DLCs. That's the way they're trying to say it. The next Project Cars DLC the channel is buying. The channel is definitely buying the next Project Cars DLC, because the next Project Cars DLC is the Game of the Year edition. It adds the Nürburgring combined. Yes, I'm doing a bloody VLN race on that. It also adds the, I think it's Pagani Hyara race car, and I think a couple of other small things. That's definitely going to be something that's bought by the channel for the channel, because there's a large part of this channel that revolves around the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and I ain't letting anybody else buy the combined circuit, because that is the godlike edition of the Nürburgring. That is the true green hell. I won't be restarting Project Hell for it, God no. I'll just do a few laps in the F1 car and maybe the Indy car, just to show off, and I might even do a video of it, of the Game of the Year DLC. What is the Game of the Year edition for it? It is basically the developers have decided that they want to give this game a Game of the Year award by themselves for literally no reason, and they want to release kind of a complete edition, which kind of indicates that that's going to be the last DLC of Project Cars, unfortunately. It's a shame as well, because Project Cars has had some really good DLCs. And I will say, once Project Cars 2 comes along, I'll probably get it, and I'll probably do some sort of Project Hell. It won't be around the Nürburgring. I'll do Project Hell 2, where I drive around a slightly more logical track. Maybe maybe like an oval, and do as a top speed challenge. That'll be a different one. How much will it be? By Project Car standards, I'd say €7 or €8 for the DLC itself. For the Game of the Year edition, the game, all the DLCs, and the special stuff for the Game of the Year edition that they're adding in, I'd reckon €50-60. They probably bump it up to full price, because they can stick the Game of the Year tag on, they can market that it's got, and they have been marketing that it's all the DLCs, some special edition stuff that actually people already own the game can buy separately as the DLC. That's why I don't know the actual name of the DLC. I'm just calling it the Game of the Year edition DLC. And it's, to be honest, I just want it for the Nürburgring combined. Because that is one of the best circuits in the world. It's not particularly great in Assetto Corsa, and I have played it on Assetto Corsa. And by the way, the Lotus 49 in Assetto Corsa, either I've got a hell of a lot better, or that thing has a hell of a lot more grip than I remember. Because it's drivable. And I don't recall that being a thing. But yeah, that's something that I noticed. When did I play? Last week? Is as screwing around with the Lotus 49 around the Nürburgring on Assetto Corsa, and I found it drivable. Do I have or play spin tires? No! I was going to get it, but then it started coming out that the devs were maybe a bit lackluster and a bit lazy and kind of starting to ignore the game a bit, so I said, that's when I said, that's maybe not a game that I'll want to be promoting at all. I don't want to promote lazy development. Giants get away with it because the mods, the mods for me are what make Farm Sim a unique experience. Cattle and Crops threatens it very strongly. If Cattle and Crops is a modding community that's even half as strong as Farm Sims, that's gonna really threaten Giants. It's a good game. It might be a good game for it, but the devs for a period pretty much abandoned it, and I got burned by devs abandoning a game before, so I'm kind of apprehensive. It's why I tend not to show a lot of early access stuff. If you look at what I play on Steam, there's not a whole lot of early access stuff. There's stuff that I am 110% confident, because it's successful in early access, 110% confident that it will go and will result in a complete game, or is as playable as a complete game out of the box in early access already. I don't generally go for early access stuff, because I have a tech demo of Racecraft, I believe is the name of the game. Yes, Racecraft. It's an old tech demo. I didn't get like any special key from the devs. You might have spotted me playing that last night or the other night. That was just me testing the tech demo. It is in early access now. It does have It does have like controller support and wheel support now. It didn't. Tech demo I played didn't. But I'm not willing to pay. I think it's like €20 to get into the early access. I just because I used to play and oh, I'm not denying that the physics in spin tires are bad, are good. I'm not denying that at all. I'm just saying I don't think they've got enough to be able to sit back. I don't think they've got enough content for me to want to start playing it, because it's only like a few maps. Like if I was to get a game that's currently in early access, if I had to pick between well, pick three car games. So three very physics-based car games. So you've got Spin Tires, which I count as being in early access. I think it might be officially released. I don't know. We got Spin Tires as number 1. We have BeamNG Drive as number 2, and we have Wreckfest Next Car Game as number 3. BeamNG and Wreckfest have more content, so there goes Spin Tires straight away. And then it's really, do you want something that's very silly or a bit more serious? And personally, I go for a Wreckfest. Which sounds odd. Wreckfest is a bit more serious than BeamNG because Wreckfest's physics just seem a bit more realistic to me. I may have to just pop up the AFK screen for a moment. I've just got a slew of text that I need to read because a friend is in need, and I may need to just go AFK for a moment. So I'm gonna run an ad. Luckily it's about half hour in, so I'm just gonna throw up the AFK screen and whoops, and run an ad. I'll just be right back in a moment, guys. You're going to have another stab at adding Seedmaster. Could you follow FS Modding's tutorial of adding new fruits? I believe it is. I've never actually added a crop. Seedmaster, you need to... So, have I muted my mic? I haven't. Good. So I'm back. I'm back. Kind of. Connor's having a bad day, and if you're new to the stream, Connor's a good friend of mine, and he kind of takes a bit of priority over the stream. Faye, what you need to do for the Seedmaster is you need to register seeds to as a fruit or crop, and you need to get the fermenting silo as an extra source mod, or as a, you need to reference the thing. You do think FS17 will beat Cattle and Crops? I don't know. FS17 is brand recognition. Cattle and Crops seems to have pretty much everything else right now. I'm still kind of reserving judgment on Cattle and Crops completely until there's some form of actual gameplay footage that can't be pre-rendered, until there's some sort of playable demo. That'd be really nice of the Cattle and Crops guys. I'm gonna go to this scene over here. I'm kind of waiting until there's a playable demo, to be quite honest, to give any sort of judgment to Cattle and Crops. Best case scenario, and this is what I think they should do, the guys behind Cattle and Crops should release it in early access. If they release it in early access, or like actively approach YouTubers. Does FarmSim do demos? They did in 2013. 15 didn't, because it was basically 13 with a new skin on it. 17 probably won't either. The FS13 demo was literally just the tutorials, so it wasn't a particularly good demo. But Cattle and Crops, I think, should like actively approach YouTubers. Even like Daggerwind for definite needs to be approached. I maybe don't appreciate his approach to FarmSim, but he needs to be approached by Cattle and Crops. Like guys like Daggerwin, Dirt Hebbers, Ian Robson, if they wanted to go for a more realistic style, which I don't think they are going for, so they might, who knows, they might approach me and say, hey, you've got a very realistic style of playing FarmSim, we're trying to get this to be a realistic game, would you mind, or would you, you know, do you want a review code? Also, I would love to get a link to the Ford Forces if possible. If it's private only, I think I might just still want it. Because I do love the Ford Forces. I laughed so hard I just wobbled my entire desk. That was amazing. Oh, I'm one of these people who like the world wobbles when I laugh. I don't know what Cattle and Crops are going to do in terms of marketing. I think they should approach YouTubers. They should try and get the word out on YouTube. They should give people, both German speaking and English speaking, they need to focus on the English speaking guys, because we're the ones most alienated by giants. They should approach both sets of communities and kind of give some of the guys review codes. Maybe not, you know, small guys like me, because I do appreciate that I'm a small dude in the grand scheme of YouTube and even FarmSim. I'm a small, you know, I'm a small streamer, small content creator. I'm maybe not the guy that they'll go to for marketing a new game, but at the same time I maybe have the style they want, so they might do some he's used the 8340 on the big wagon. Who knows what Cattle and Crops are going to do. I'd love it if they came to me and said, yeah, we're going to do some cross promotion here, we're going to promote your channel as kind of the English speaking vent for our stuff, for our demos and all, and you're going to promote our game. Although I would insist that I'm allowed to give honest opinions. If I say something is crap, I want to be... If I think something is crap, I want to be able to say it's crap. But as... out of just fairness and respect, I would say, this could do some improvement, and here's how it improved. And I'd like mention it to them before I ever put it into a video. I'm not like totally terrible. Also, if I were to get a review code, I would mention it in like videos and streams. I wouldn't be that guy who just... Well, I kind of have to mention it because it's actually part of, I think, Maker terms and conditions, that if I get a review codes, I have to mention that they're review codes. It's also like a legal requirement here that if I'm doing something, I get a review code, just in case it's misinterpreted as an ad, which if they're asking me to promote the game, it would be. I would have to disclose that I got a review code. If I ever do get a review code for something, I will let you guys know. And if it's something that I think you guys will like, it'll definitely be on the channel. If not, I might just take the review code and run. I might just play the game by myself and be like, hey, this is fun. Or, oh god, this is terrible, this is a mess. You never know with me. There's a reason I don't want Dago, to be quite honest. Game looks brilliant, to be honest. If you look at the bit right, spring about in the air, it looks very hard to run. That's kind of a worrying point for me, Ford. You kind of hit the nail on the head. It looks like an agri-sim. It looks like Agrar. That's terrifying. That's a terrifying thought, because Agrar had so much potential. And because they, for whatever reason, UIG just can't do optimization, it was atrocious. I still can't play Agrar at 60. I can't play a game from 2013, 2014 at 60 FPS on a GTX 980 and a 4 gigahertz processor with 32 gigs of RAM in the damn thing. That's how badly optimized Agrar actually was. Never mind trying to record the damn thing. That's just... Okay, fun fact. Fun fact. The 100 subscriber special, where I can't remember what I even did. Can't remember what I did for the 100 sub special. I think I just did an hour-long video or something. But the original plan for that was me doing a couple of videos of agri-sim, because that was and still is more realistic than farm sim. Issue is, I couldn't get the game to run. The game literally wouldn't run properly. I tried using Xbox controller, because that's what I was using at the time. The game just said, nope. All the controls are going to be mapped the exact same way. I literally had to use the accelerator and brake to walk forwards and backwards. That's how badly it was. That's how badly it was optimized and coded. Was that they literally had one set of controls hard coded in, and screw you if you want to fix this. Agri-sim looks pathetic. It looked and still does look really nice in stills. Still images really do the game justice, which is probably why the damn thing runs at like 5 FPS, because that's when it looks its most impressive. If it had gameplay to back up those graphics, because they were like really good graphics, it had stuff that I want in farms. It had terrain deformation, it had like a genuine use for the plow. You had to plow every year, you had to throw manure and stuff every year, you had to do all this stuff every year. There's an actual 35, yes. And here's the fun thing, FarmSim aren't the first group to get AgCo. Originally, AgCo was with AgriSim. So you could get class stuff in AgriSim, and Massey Ferguson's in AgriSim. And I think there was even a John Deere in AgriSim. I think there was a Model A Deere in AgriSim. But that's where all the good things end, because the game... Well, the good things ended when you started trying to play the damn thing, because that's where the game was at its absolute weakest. Absolute weakest was when you were trying to play the game. It's why I kind of warn everybody off UIG games. It's because UIG, in my mind, UIG are a byword for stay away. This is absolute garbage. Giants did like Fenton FS11, but that was just because they had the license for Fent. If you look at FS13, it was mainly Deutz because they had the license for Deutz. FS15 was mainly New Holland because they had the license for New Holland. FS17 is likely to be mainly Agco, so you'll get a class Challenger, a couple of Massies. I'd love a 35 in there. I'd love if Massey said, you know, we got a lot of history here. We'd really appreciate if you pushed a bit of the history that Massey Ferguson has. So maybe a Fergie, maybe the Ferguson system. By default in Farm Sim, if that's in, I just be like, yep, that's sold the game for me right there. I am never going to use any other equipment. No, I would, but I would literally have to have the Ferguson system, all of it, on every map. You don't know if you'll get Carlton Crops. Ford, I would say I'm probably going to get it for the sake of making a couple of videos, just check it out and give you guys my opinions. So, short of me getting a review code, I will be buying it. And I will be giving my opinions as soon as I possibly can. Even if it means I have to download off an external website and be like, ah! So on Steam. But, yeah, that's one of the things that is kind of difficult about YouTube, is you have to play games that you literally don't know what's going to happen. And I may end up having to put out a bunch of videos to try and make the money back. Because I don't make an awful lot per month out of this, believe it or not. Hey GDF5 Muscle, how you doing? I don't make a lot of ad revenue, so and it's not like Nerdcube where you can like literally buy a game and if it never works out, it's a business expense. If I buy a game and it doesn't work out, I have to put up videos of it to try and make the money back. Running low when I get it, you said FPS you get, I guess. If I run it on low, I'll probably get solid 60. If not 120. I don't know what they're gonna hard lock the frame rate to. But I should in theory run up against the hard lock constantly. Because even in Farm Sim, if I press F2, I've edited this map, I've got a bunch of crap on it, there's textures absolutely everywhere, it's a hot mess of scripts. I'm still getting pretty solid 60. And this is a map that, you know, you're supposed to have a beefy computer to run. So, in theory, if Cattle and Crops is in any way optimized, even running max settings, I should get solid 60. By default. But I will be running through everything. If I get 60 at least, if I can get 60 on Ultra, and like the absolute max, you know, you're gonna need a beast of a computer to run it. As long as your computer meets the minimum requirements, you should be able to run it. I don't know what the minimum requirements will be yet, though. That's kind of an issue. They're still saying it's going to be releasing this year. It needs to be in alpha at this stage. It's May. They want to release it by the end of the year. It needs to be in alpha. Screw this pre-alpha stuff now. If they release a video in the next 2 weeks and it still says pre-alpha, it's not releasing in 2016. And if it does release in 2016, it won't be worth buying because it'll be a rush bodge job of a mess. And it'll need a patch after patch after patch. They don't have Deutz in. They won't have. They won't even have Deutz 4. Because they had a picture of an MB track, and that was a farm sim mod. They had a picture of a class. They have footage of a class Jaguar. That's going to be in farm sim. That's Agco. Class is Agco. They won't have class. They won't have MB. They will not get Mercedes stuff. That's just a flat out fact. They won't get Deutz. It will be essentially a game full of lizard equipment. They do have Deutz. Where do you have this proof? Because all the proof you have is classes and Agco. It kind of goes along with Agco. Where Agco goes, class tends to go. I do apologise for screwing up there. Thank you for correcting me for it. They have videos of Deutz, yes. They also have pictures of an MB track. They also have a video involving a class Jaguar. I don't think they have the rights to any of that. I think they're trying to push farm sim. If they do release this year, which I doubt, they won't have any branded stuff. They won't have any licensed equipment. In the video they drive the Deutz, yeah. And John Deere, one of the farm exhibitions last year, had a John Deere in farm sim. Or it was in late, towards the end of 2013, when 15 was getting built up. They had at a show a John Deere mod in farm sim, and they were driving it around showing off what the John Deere could do. John Deere isn't in farm sim, it never will be. They just realised that farm sim was the most recognised farming game, so they used it. Any vehicle being in any game means nothing. Deutz, like the 9340. Everything you see on the internet needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, even if it's from a game developer. And this is coming from somebody who is in game development. It's a cutthroat business. I mean, lies have to be made. Maybe they're small lies, like, we're working on that, when in fact it's planned for a month from now to be worked on. Or it's coming soon, when in fact it's planned for 6 months from now. It's still soon in the grand scheme of things. It's just not soon in maybe the game. You know, white lies and outright blatant lies are par for the course in game development. It's too cutthroat to be honest. And yes, honesty is appreciated and rewarded, but by and large, lies are what get you through. Now I'm gonna try as much as I can to be as honest as possible. But there will be times when, for the sake of the game, or for the sake of PR or marketing reasons, you know, I'll be working for the game and have to just outright lie, and I won't ever mention when I lie, because, you know, I'll be obliged to toe the marketing line, or toe the PR line, or toe the line if the developers honestly have no clue and they don't want to seem incompetent. Yeah, that's just the kind of stuff that's gonna have to that happens. Look at Blizzard. Their whole thing is soon TM. Same with iRacing. It's all soon TM because they say soon, they mean soon in the grand scheme of things, not like soon as in, yeah, that's happening next week. It means it'll be in an upcoming update eventually. But yeah, I'm kind of wandered way off the track though. You know Giants will make a game you like and you can run. If you're struggling FS15 Forge, you're going to need a new PC for 17. They're going to beef it up. That I can guarantee. That I can 100% guarantee they'll beef up the requirements. Because they will have normal maps on everything. In reality, they should have moved on from normal maps, but hey. It's the way game dev goes forward. That's a fact of life. If a game gets a sequel, it's going to be usually have higher requirements, especially if it's like Farm Sim. Farm Sim has gradually been increasing the requirements. It might only be a small step. When you're on Bjornholm, you can get 40 or 50. Now, here's where it gets difficult, because I won't notice a frame rate difference. Because where they'll beef it up will be for the processing side, most likely, and I won't notice that. It won't come through to me. I'll still be getting my 60 FPS. So I won't be able to pass on, oh yeah, this is quite clearly much more, you know, this is where they've got the graphics out, or you know, this is where they got the extra performance out of, or whatever. They're just gonna make everything cleaner, and that's what the pictures that they've released so far have been kind of showing, is everything's gonna look just that bit cleaner, just that bit shinier, and that's gonna cost more processing power. It's in the same engine, it's in the '09 engine. I mean, Simulate's pointed that out many times already. I've pointed out plenty of times myself. They're still running the FS09 engine, they just changed the textures a lot and the physics. But by and large, it's a 7-year-old engine. 9 by the end of FS17. It needs to go. They need to get a new engine for FS19 or whatever. And even if they were to bump it off a year and have, you know, FS20 be the picture they had at the Massey and the Sunflowers looks like the high graphics on FS15. I sincerely doubt that Ford. It looked a bit shinier to me, and that could easily have been in a test version, an early alpha, where they would intentionally have the graphics turned down. Hello, Lyle. I'd imagine the screenshot that we've seen is in an early build of the game, where it's basically they've just got the stuff into the FS15 engine fairly quickly. Hey, Ford 4000, we got a Ford 4000 and a Ford 7000. We need a 3000 or 5000 now, and we've got all the Ford Forces. So come on, somebody make 2 more YouTube accounts. Is GTA Muscle? Has he just changed his name to Ford 4000? If so, that's still impressive. I ain't gonna complain about somebody changing their name to a farming related thing. 7,000's better. I like the 5,000 myself. I just like the 5,000. Don't get me wrong, the 7,000's amazing. It's for just because it's the same picture doesn't mean it's the same person. Anybody can find a picture on the internet and throw it up. I mean, that's how all the fake Twitters happen. And you're a farmer. I'm actually not a farmer. I live in like a housing estate. You have a suspicion. Even if you're right, it doesn't particularly matter. You are GT, yeah. It does. What does it matter if he's changed his name? If you're suspicious of that, you don't want to see how many YouTube accounts I have. Yeah, for a sec. I'm good, Lyle. How are you? Ford, you are mental. But yeah, I don't particularly care about people changing their name on YouTube. Where am I from? I'm from Ireland, County Tipperary. I'm not going to give you any more detail than that because yeah, I'm paranoid as hell. You're good? Good to hear, Lyle. I've turned off my camera mod and I'm kind of confused. Same. You're from Tip as well? Awesome. There's still a lot of work to do here. Yeah, I'm almost definitely going to be doing some off-camera work. I know the original intention was to do stuff on stream and then in video and then on stream and then in video. But my god, this is going to take forever. Look, I'm almost an hour in. I'm still working the same damn field. Am I planning to stream 24 hours? No. That's definitely not a plan for tonight. It might happen sometime, but definitely not tonight. Maybe sometime over the summer if I get the house to myself. Because I'm not going to do it when like my parents are home. My dad's got work in the morning. That's just it's just inconsiderate because there's no soundproofing in my room. If my room was soundproof, number one, I'd be really, really happy and probably be able to sleep super well. Number two, I'd probably stream longer and end up getting a lot more text because that'd be the only way to contact me. So if you're wondering what I'm currently driving, is... Dang it, Ford, I was reading your message and I just said is. I'm currently driving the Massey Ferguson 7718. I've got the Kverneland disc cultivator from the Gold Edition on the back. Using drive control for shuttle because I really like the shuttle controls. Up over here is multi-overlay, which I've kind of got closed down. GPS is running so that I can get nice straight lines. That's the courseplay overlay, which I rarely use. I also have soil mod on this map. This is a private version of Coldborough that I've edited myself. Some select people do have this version, but I have them under strict instructions to never ever give it people, because I don't want my name getting out there. Somebody who's gonna edit a map and then give it out to people, or somebody who just hands out private maps. Do I have a load? Do I have a loader? I don't have a loader on this thing. I've got a Case CVX85 over in field 6. Who puts a loader on a 4000? 5000 is the one that looks good with a loader on it. Totally not judging just from NM Modding's 2013 mod pack. But the 5000 doesn't look damn good with a cab and a loader on. I said actually a third reason none of them look good with a loader. I like the 5000 with a loader. I don't get why people put a loader on like a tractor that has no cab, because you know the cab is kind of, in my eyes, it's something that's going to take the brunt of the hit if something were to collapse the loader and make it fly backwards or something. I can understand with the Fergies, the TE20, the TE20 loader, the Fergies had. That made sense because it's a banana loader. If it's gonna flap, it's gonna flap down, and you're not really gonna have it so it's gonna flap straight onto your bloody head, are you? Come on, there we go. Plus, to be fair for it, no tractor looks good with the loader. It's just kind of a utilitarian thing that, oh, this, you know, I need a loader and I've got this tractor with a loader mount. Oh well, guess it's getting a loader on it. What's really funny is there was originally a plan to have a 24-hour stream last month. Nevo and I were going to do a 24-hour stream, but a whole bunch of crap happened. Things went a bit mental in my family life, and I kind of had to cancel half of April. It was February, but I kind of had to cancel half of February. So we had no time to really plan it, and then he kind of discovered that, oh, his mother's got a new job in like the UK, so he's moved back to the UK. He's still in the process of moving, so I haven't been talking to him much. It's been chaotic as hell. Such is the fun of life, I guess. Do I have my mouse set up correctly? Oh, guess I do. Your neighbour has a 4000, it's a rust bucket. You said that. Well, some people like having old tractors be rusty. I'm not one of them. I think that an old tractor should have some rust because sometimes it does protect the metal, bizarrely. Some types of rust do protect the metal as opposed to corrode it. Like if you watch The Funky Farmer, he's got rust that's been covered up by cow muck, and the rust and muck concoction that it creates actually protects the paintwork of the tractor. Well, actually protects the metalwork of the tractor. It doesn't protect the paint at all. It destroys the paint, but it protects the metalwork. And his yard masses. So yeah, that's my thoughts on rust on old tractors. I think they're good to have some in certain spots where maybe it's not as obvious. Why are there so many Fords? Because Ford was a huge brand in tractors for quite a while, and they got bought out. Even one lonely farmer said he wants a Ford in the past. I've seen a comment on YouTube from one lonely farmer. I was actually watching a video, I was looking through the comments of it, and right up there at the top was one lonely farmer saying, oh, God, I'd love a Ford. It's some, Ford tractor. I've never used one, but I'd love to have it just to say I have. And I was just sat there kind of, huh. 7740 is good with a loader. I don't think any tractor looks particularly great with a loader. I think they're just something you throw on a tractor because you need something to have a loader on it. And you're better off having one machine that can do many jobs instead of many machines to do one job. Is that just not gonna go? Can you please not? Thank you. So let's get up the field. I'm gonna get off the actual cultivated land. You'd rather get the Merlot? That's a good choice, but I mean it's a one-use piece of equipment. You're gonna use a telehandler just for handling telephones. Just for loading. Whereas personally, I'd prefer to have maybe a skid steer in the animal yard just to, you know, stack the bales and clean out the muck. I wouldn't have a telehandler at all. It's too complicated for whatever work you'd be putting it through. Like, in my mind, you get a tractor with a front loader or a skid steer, or both. The Merlot's nice, but I mean, in terms of cost effectiveness, not so much. And that's kind of the argument I'm raising, is the Merlot's just not cost effective. Because you're paying probably a couple $100,000 to get a piece of equipment that can do one thing very well and other things not very well. Whereas you can have a, you know, 160 horsepower tractor with a front loader attachment, and it can do most things quite well. Nothing like perfectly, but most things it can do quite well. Which I think is why, you know, the 100-ish, 150, 160 horsepower band is the most popular within farms, is just because it can do most things. But loader tractors do look like crap, but that's kind of the way they're intended to look. I mean, it's not all about aesthetics, it's utilitarianism, and I know I'm just pointless reversing here. It's, you know, utilitarianism. You know, it can do its. Can it do its job if it looks crap? Yes. Well, it doesn't look crap. You know, if it looks bad but it works, it's okay. If it looks nice but it doesn't work, there's a problem. There's a reason the DeLorean failed as a car. Yes, it looks beautiful, but its maximum speed was for 3,000. Hello again. You gonna change your lane to 5,000 now? The DeLorean failed as a car because it was an attempt to get a big American V8 muscle car engine into a European sports car body, which is why it looks so funky. And the reason they're all silver is because they kind of realized they needed to save a bit of weight, so it's just bare metal. They didn't want to skimp weight in the engine, they didn't want to skimp weight in anything else, so they just went, screw it, we're going to use the Mercedes idea and take the metal away. Or take the paint away. And the top speed of the DeLorean DMC-12, which in Back to the Future could hit 88 miles an hour to travel back in time. There's a reason they chose 88 miles an hour in Back to the Future. Because the top recorded speed of a DeLorean DMC-12, straight out of the factory, was 87 miles per hour. That's the joke in Back to the Future. That's actually a joke that people miss, is a DeLorean can't go 88 miles an hour. It was intentionally chosen to say, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to try this. You know, you ain't traveling back in time in the DeLorean. Never mind the flux capacitor, which is becoming just a good thing. But DeLoreans couldn't get to 88. They'd blow up before they got there. They were just too heavy. And the funny thing is, I still want a damn DeLorean because they are one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen. And having seen one in person multiple times, how do I know it's the same one? Because it was at the same show every year. It was at Cannonball Run. It goes there every year, paint. Completely done up like the Back to the Future DeLorean. Hey Ford 5000, don't take Ford's name. He can and probably will ban you. If he can figure it out, that is. And do you know what? If he bans you, it's your own fault, because I have warned you. He is very protective, 7000. I don't think I played an ad an hour in, so I'm gonna just really quickly play an ad as I get to the next field. You saw the Cannonball Run? It was there on Sunday. Oh, was there one? It wasn't the same Cannonball Run I saw. Because the Cannonball Run I went to on multiple occasions, actually twice, was later in the summer. It was around my birthday. Actually, it was literally on my birthday one year, so I got to see a few million euros worth of supercars for my birthday, which, yes, thank you very much, everything. I actually want to see where the route is this year. It should be up by now. So, I'm going to pop the BRB screen back up, because I'm going to go on Firefox. There we go. I genuinely want to know this. So it's Cannonball. So I'm genuinely looking this up right now. Where is Cannonball Run this year? And 9th to 11th September. Okay. Route 2015. Is the route not announced yet? Is the route seriously not announced yet? Huh. Okay. 9th to 11th September is definitely worth it. Hey, that looks like it's here. Yeah, route hasn't been announced yet. Nuts. So I'll be trying to keep track of there we go. I'll be trying to keep track of when Cannonball Ireland release route information, because I do want to try and go again this year. And hopefully there'll be a stop nearish me again. I just realised I went 3 years in a row, because I went last year, the year before, and the year before that, because I stopped here 2 years in a row. You're thinking there's a Ford left out of the forces? 3,000, 5,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. I don't think there's a Ford missing, or force missing. Unless there's one that AI modding missed out, because they're the only ones I know about. That's all the information I have. How did you... Oh my god, Ford. That is a very silly mistake to make. Oh, hang on, I forgot my name. It's like something I'd do. Probably have done at some point. I know I keep forgetting my own age. Like, if you ask me my age, I will genuinely just stop for a second. Hang on. It's 2016. My last birthday was in 2015. I'm that derpy. You're 21, 5,000? Or do you think I'm 21? If you think I'm 21, you're either deluded or trying to make me feel good. Because I've heard lots of people saying, "Oh, damn, dude, you look like you're 40 or 50." And I'm just like, I'm not that old. Yes, 47,000 is 11. I'm guessing 5,000 is 21. Try and guess how old I am. Or you're 13. But try and guess how old I am. Because it's kind of depressing considering everything. Considering all of my life choices. Is that 300 million? 34? I hope that's a joke, Ford. I'm not that old. Oh yeah, I did chop strongs. Derp, derp, derp. Is it 30? Nope, still wrong. I'll give you a hint. I look older than I actually am. And you are going in the correct direction, you guys. I will give you that. But you're still both wrong. First one to actually guess it correctly gets a prize of knowing they were the first one to guess it correctly. And 47,000 has nailed it. I think. Yes. 47,000 nailed it with 24. I did say that I have legitimately keep forgetting my own age. Just because I don't particularly care anymore. As long as people don't say I look 40, I'm fine with it. I mean, beard, long hair, and a bit dodgy looking. I know I look older than I am. But 40 is a bit excessive. I know I've got some greys, but such are the joys of male pattern baldness. I look 45. That's the joys of male pattern baldness, I guess. And having a beard. You know, for people have said that and not been joking. I mean, I don't take it too personally anymore. It's people just guessing badly. That's the Ford Forces. Awesome. I will download it momentarily. Did I accidentally do the thing? I accidentally did the thing. I need to unbind that control from... Nope, too far. That looks about right. Clicky. And actually download now. And I'm gonna mark in the mod list as being a private mod. Oh yeah, I gotta do this nonsense. So I just throw it into the... There we go. It's the mod list updated. I went offline 20 minutes ago. I'll keep the Dropbox link open so that I can send it to him later on. Oh, nuts! I opened it with WinRAR. I meant to just open up the folder. Bear with me a moment while I just get this into my mod folder. I don't want Spring Hill. If I wanted Spring Hill, I'd convert it myself. Spring Hill is a map that I never liked. I'm one of these weirdos who just... Spring Hill is... A buck rig. I actually have a buck rig somewhere. Most of the stuff that I have is fairly basic. I mean, I don't need all of the NA modding stuff from 2013. I'd like it, but I don't need it. Silage equipment. Good lord, Ford, how many private stuff do you have? But I kind of found that by having to try to improvise with my love of older vehicles and smaller equipment is more than that if I want. No, I don't think I even need all of that stuff. Because I'm kind of wanting to limit myself to just the one private mod, and I think I'm going to limit it to the Ford Forces because they're too good for me to not have. Just like they're the mods that I want the most. That's what I want modding to do the most. If they were to convert just one mod from 2013, it would be the Forces. Is there 7,000 mod? There is in the Ford Forces pack 5,000. That's one of the hardest damn things to find. Is like a good Ford mod. There's 3, 4, 5, and 7. And did they convert the 5 front loader as well? Because that'd be a really nice replacement for the somewhat... What the hell is this thing doing? Somewhat dodgy case that I'm using at the moment. Sorry, I've just been distracted. My e-cig charger is flashing at me. I think my e-cig, my spare battery number 2 is charged, because of course I've got 2 spare batteries. But it's just started flashing red and green, which I think means the battery's charged, but not properly. Or there's some sort of weird issue going on. The 5,000 front loader, because that'd be a really good replacement for the case front loader that I'm currently using, because I don't want to be using stuff that's like, this is quite clearly a modern tractor. I want to have stuff that could be kind of somewhere in the middle. It's in it awesome. Now I'm gonna have to come up with a storyline reason by the video tonight to figure out why the hell I'm selling the case to get an older tractor in. I need mod buckets and stuff. Doesn't like in game. I can mod buckets up. In fact, I'll probably be using just mod buckets. And if I need to get a bale fork, if I need to get a bale fork to work with it, I will just create a mod bale fork. Which, by the way, I will then put on. I'll throw at people who have the Ford Forces, because modded stuff is awesome. Seriously, modded stuff is amazing. And creating your own mod of an in-game thing is actually really easy. I just need to find out what attacher joint they're using for it and set that as the attacher joint. And bada boom, base guys in the room. Get well soon, Enzo. Yeah, sorting out an in-game thing to work with the forces isn't an issue. What, 7,000 Steam? If you go to steamcommunity.com/groups/RainbowDave Gaming, he is part of that group. That is the Steam group for the channel, because I made one. Facebook.com/RainbowDave Gaming is the Facebook group, and Twitter.com/Rainbow_Dave. You have to click your sister for more. Fahy, if you have it available, scroll up in chat, there's a link to the forces from Ford. He has given out a link. Or you could check Steam, apparently. I will say Ford isn't part of the Facebook group. It's just, I think it's just my friend Connor at the moment, but I will be occasionally updating that with all the new artwork and stuff. So we got about half an hour left in the stream today, which is mildly concerning. I forgot to update the bloody save game XML again. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm gonna have to do that immediately after the stream. Because after the stream I will be pretty much having to fast forward through the night, and I want to make sure that I don't accidentally set Solomod off going and doing its thing when I don't want it to. Yeah, I have it downloaded, I just don't have it in the game at the moment. I've even thrown it onto the mod list as just a private mod because I'm allowed to indulge myself once. Because, damn it, I do want one. Do I have GE working well? Yeah, it's completely functional. Why, do you want a map editor or something? I don't mind editing maps and stuff, it's just Donetsk work is really taking a back seat at the moment because it's really after irritating me how slowly it's going. And it has been going, and all the questions of when will the map be released? When it's done, shut up. So I replaced all what I was going to do as Donetsk streams with this. This is more fun. But to be fair, almost everything works well on my PC. Firefox doesn't for some reason. It doesn't seem to like YouTube. I saw that. I don't really see the point of it. I mean, I know it works with the manual attach mod that I'm using, but honestly, it's just a step that I don't see the point of. Especially with something like this cultivator. What's the point of the hydraulic hoses? This thing wouldn't need hydraulic lines at all. There's no folding, it would just be electric lines. Which I would count as just being part of attaching the 3-point, realistically. That's something I wouldn't really bother adding. I know it's more realistic to have them in. It is a grubber. It's just throw it on the 3-point, drop it in, and go. It's a disc. It's a grubbing disc. It's not. It doesn't unfold. It doesn't do anything particularly spectacular. It's just throw it on the back and now you're disking. Hooray! I mean, I'm hitting the unfold button. It's doing nothing. O does nothing. B does nothing. It's a grubber. There's no real functionality to it otherwise. I mean, the whole point of me getting it was just to disc down the dirt, which you wouldn't need any sort of power harrow to do. It's just throw a disc in and it'll do it. It'll cut up the ground nicely. It's, to be honest, it's just too much work for something that is just aesthetic. Like with my map edits, I try and put the 7,000 in the game as well. I actually do plan on get. The reason I was looking for the 4 forces is to try and get more classic stuff in. So I'll probably end up getting the 5 from. Ooh, something just twanged. That doesn't feel right. Hang on. Something just twanged. Oh, was it flicking against that boot? I should use a taste. No, I don't like that map. That is a map I really do not like. It's number one, it's being played by Dagoin, which is a death knell for anybody else who tries to play it. Number two, it's lazily made. It's really lazily made. I had a look at it in a stream before, and I spent the better part of an hour talking about, as a first impression, how the roads are a bit of a mess. All the buildings have different scales for whatever reason. Oh god, by all means play it yourself. I don't like it. The buildings are all different scales, the roads are a mess. There's just clutter for the sake of clutter. No. No, it's just not my style of map at all. I get the people like it, I get the Dagger likes it for whatever reason. But it's just, it just strikes me as a bit of a hot mess of a map. Not the worst map I've looked at by any means. There was one that I think was I think there was one that was damn near unplayable because all the icons were in the wrong place. The PDA map was stretched wildly out of proportions. Half the fields were impossible to buy. Ford, I would wait until Carragart comes out. That's due to come out soonish. Carragart for 2015. That's a map that I would advise waiting for. The issue is most of the Irish maps are made by a new Mapper's Paradise map? What? No, it's not Office UK not 5 minutes ago and there's no new map. Oh, is this What? I'm not seeing any new maps on FSUK. Silver did a trailer on it. What map would that be then? Was it Thornton by any chance? Because I know that's nearly done. Baxter and David. I can't remember. I tend not to watch Silver's map previews. Because if I do decide to go onto a map, I want my opinions to be fresh. Now sometimes I will go into a map after seeing people playing on it and realising Little Town. Littleton? What? Where's my subscriptions? Little Town. Huh. From Lancy Boy. I may just have to have a look at that, because Lancy Boy is a good map maker. It's not on FSUK, which is odd. That's really odd. It's not on FSUK at all. Unless it's actually Shelton. Which is a map that he was working on. He might have changed the name to Little Town. Looking around searching, yeah, I think it's Little Town. I think it's either Shelton or Manor Lodge Farms. They're the only two maps that I can see that he's been playing. I am playing that, screw it. Landy Kids started playing it, so I've been trying to find new people to watch in Farm Sim, and they're all playing the same damn maps. It's really irritating because they're maps that I don't like. Like I haven't really been watching Ian Robson because he's been playing on questionable American farms and Dirt Hebbers. I'm really interested to see what map Dirt Hebbers goes to. Because he has finished up on the Volga map, which it's an okay map. Volga is an okay map. After watching what he did to it, I mean, do I like names? Well, I haven't really had much of a chance to look at maps lately. Most of what I've been doing in my off time lately has been screwing about in Project Cars to get the hang of some cars, or even a track, because I've been doing a lot of stuff on the Monte Carlo track in Project Cars. I want to try and get a few races done there, but the AI is terrible. Terrible, isn't it? Oh! If you haven't seen it already, I do suggest you watch the Project Cars video from Saturday. The Project Cars video from Saturday is hilarious. I did a race at Monte Carlo, 36 cars, multi-class, and I was driving a Formula Renault. That was really, really, really genuinely good fun. Because, oh my god, multi-class racing at Monaco is a terrible... Single-class racing with even 20 cars, because I tried that in Lotus 49Cs. By the way, I'm apparently really good at driving the Lotus 49C. I don't quite know why, but I can manage to get it to not spin the wheels in a very murderous manner. Because the 60s F1 cars were notorious for that. How much is this game? How much is Farm Sim at the moment? It is, if I just bring up Steam real quick, games, store page. Farming Simulator 15 with the gold edition is currently €30, or your regional equivalent. That's the one that I'd suggest because it has extra content. It's actually cheaper than buying the DLC on its own. Farming Simulator 15, the base game, is €24.99, or 25 euros I'd like to call it, because then who uses a cent for anything ever? There's a bunch of DLC as well, and it's very heavily moddable. And those prices, by the way, are PC on Steam, so you might find it different on PSN or whatever. They're the prices that I see on Steam. That's the version that I have. This is really heavily modded. Really quite heavily modded. There's well over 100 mods in this save game. Most of them are inactive at the moment, but there's well over 100 mods in this. Some of which aren't available, like the map itself. I have edited the map. It is unavailable in this form with the textures that I've got. I just remembered I meant to put Sandy Bay stubble textures in. Nuts. My bad. I'll try and fix that later on. After the vid. I'll do it after the video. I don't know. I kind of like the stubble textures here. The Sandy Bay stubble textures are a bit of a mess. I mean, yeah, they fit in better with the distant textures that I've got in. But I don't know if I like stubble textures in Sandy Bay. I really don't. Because I think the stubble textures, you've got to use the entire crop texture, which is a bit of a shame. Short of like me cutting it out and then putting... Oh, I might do that. Many things that I could do. Many things that I need to do. Like, remember to... I've got to write it down, probably. I have the 4 forces in my mod folder now, yes. It's currently not loaded into the game because I haven't unloaded the game yet. So the video tonight will be including Ford Forces. I want to check something actually. How much would I get if I were to sell that off? Ooh, that's not good. I want to sell something off, but I won't be getting enough money from it. You had to download them. You really do. Once you got it available, no, they're getting downloaded now. There's no waiting. I mean, I'm gonna wait to load them, but if anyone else they're off Facebook money, so I just put them down as private. It's easier to just put them as private when they're maybe not, you know, perfect. I don't care if they're perfect. This is... Okay, so the Ford Forces are the only time that I will actively say I don't care if they're not perfect. I don't care if they're missing FS15 stuff. They're the damn Ford Forces and I'm going to love them because they're one of the best mods for FS13. And it is a damn shame they're not, after being officially converted by NA modding for FS15. I mean, in theory, I could have converted them myself over the course of a few days, but number one, I don't think I've got the patience. Number two, I probably don't have the time. Because I might actually stay on. I might stay off Steam until I've got the video recorded tonight, and then I'll go on Steam, and you'll just see the chaos that happens immediately after that. Because Fahy's already was it? It was either Fahy or Welch asked, "What the hell is this Sony Movie Studio Platinum thing you keep going into on Steam?" That's me video editor. I bought it for €50. So whenever you see me on that, I'm actually working on a video. Yeah, it's the anti-modding stuff from 13. It doesn't particularly matter the quality you get, because you might have noticed I have hidden in harvesters here this thing, Jeff FCT1060 ProTech. That's not a good conversion. I don't care. It's a bit of a hot mess of a conversion. It works. I'm happy. I think I tried to edit that, so I might have to re-download it again. But it's... If you ever find the Fergies, I want them that day. Then I'll immediately change the bales out so that they can be... Okay, you know my madness. I would actually use the Fergies on this map. And if I was just slightly more insane, I would try and use them in all the fields with the like 2-meter equipment they have. Such is my mentality. That's my YouTube. It is... I think if you put exclamation mark YouTube in the chat, Paddy, you can get it. It's youtube.com/RainbowDave Gaming. I try and have everything as RainbowDave Gaming. Twitch being the exception because it's a slightly older account. Twitch and Twitter. Twitter is Rainbow_Dave because somebody else took RainbowDave before I got it. They're still active, so I can't complain to Twitter. There's facebook.com/RainbowDave Gaming for a community group on there, and steamcommunity.com/groups/RainbowDave Gaming for the Steam group. No problem, Paddy. Plenty of content on YouTube. There's, I think it's over 600 or 700 videos now. It's in the 47,000. Does it have, I'll have to ask, because it's the thing I bitch about the most. Does it have a normal map, Fatty? You'll know immediately if it has a normal map, because you'll be able to see, you can see hard edges if it doesn't. Like this does have a normal map. Does it? Oh, it does not! This Massey does not have a normal map. Does it not? Am I seeing this correctly? Does this Massey not... This Massey does not have a normal map. Huh. I could have sworn it did. It doesn't. Or at least it kind of doesn't. Normal map, yeah, this is going to be a really good example of this. So, if you look at the cultivator here, you can see there's very few, almost no proper hard edges. It's all kind of smooth edges going around. You know, there's very few hard edges. Those little tines don't really count. But on the bigger stuff, it's all kind of rounded looking. And if you go over to the Massey here, and the best example is up on the back. Okay, up on the back, not in the wheel wells. Just the mudguard there, the way that it meets the cab, shows that there's no normal map. Oh wait, no, there is actually. There might be. No, there's not. It's just smooth shaded. No normal map. 33 miles an hour in the 7. Oh, good lord, that should be 30 kilometers an hour. That's a much. I think they might have mixed up miles an hour and kilometers an hour. I might have to figure out how to edit that down to kilometers an hour. Because I don't want a 7,000 going 54 kilometers an hour. If you turn very sharp, it drifts. Oh, that's easy to fix. That's just upping the oh, there's a coefficient you can change in the XMLs to fix the drifting. That's an easy fix. Speed might be a bit wonkier, but I'll try and limit it to 54 at most, or not 54, 33, 34, because that's a much more realistic speed. I'll probably have to go through the other forces to fix them, because I want the 5000 FL. Much and all, Ford 7000 hates the the front loaders on old tractors. I do like tractors that have loaders. Here goes Donegal. You might like it, Ford. I don't, just because I have GE eyes. I can see problems in maps really, really easily. Well, 60 FPS is, you know, it's a well optimized map. Don't get me wrong, that map is optimized. It just strikes me as a bit of a hot mess. But fair, you can accept the little mistakes and issues and fix them. I mean, that's the joy of having having at least a basic knowledge of modding is, oh, that's this problem, and you can fix it in this XML. So in we go, and we'll see how we can look it up. We'll see how we can fix it up. 7 looking up. Ah, that's decidedly not good. So it's not as optimized as I thought it was. Interesting. What kind of frame rate do you get on Coldborough? Just out of interest, because I haven't optimized. I didn't do any optimization on Coldborough. I literally just added in the mods that I threw in. So there's actually more stuff on my edit of Coldborough than there is on default Coldborough, because I didn't delete anything, so I didn't break the scene graph. That's a thing that I do, is break scene graphs. Coldborough is 17 to 30. Coldborough is a very intensive map. On a taste of only golf, hey. That map has more issues than I thought. Why does it have that issue? Ford, if you can get into one of the meadows, I want you to look at how dense the grass is and tell me. If it looks like super dense, because I think that might be the issue. If the grass looks super dense, I can fix it and give you a slightly optimized version. Now, I'm not saying I can fix all the problems, but I can do some minor edits to try and optimize the map for you. I might not like the map myself, but I'll do some performance edits if I can to try and get it working better. I'll try and get up to about 150 FPS on my machine, or somewhere in that region, because I can delimit the game. So what you're seeing here with flying around 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, you know, high 40s, low 50s in FPS, that's the limited FPS. Yeah, just tell me if the grass is like covering everything. Because Coldborough, one of the issues with Coldborough, and I haven't fixed it, I don't plan on fixing it, is get down to the end of the field here. One of the issues, meadows are grass fields. So if you look down at the grass here, it's quite, oh, it's not actually all that dense. I thought it was a lot denser than it is. Sometimes super dense grass can, or super dense crops even, can cause issues. Like this area here is really dense. Actually, yeah, it is actually quite dense. And this can cause FPS issues once you start loading in buildings and stuff like that. You can see over there where there's crops, I'm dropping 20, almost 30 FPS. That might work, yeah, for it. Because I can tell you, I mean, that map has bigger issues than, well, there's no bigger issue than it not running well. But it's a small map, it shouldn't run that badly. I mean, Coldborough takes up, what, 2/3 of the map area? About half. half to 2/3. If even that. And have I ever ran a benchmark? I really don't. I can't actually because I'm running custom options. You have to run default options to get a benchmark, and I run customized options for YouTube essentially, and as a result of that, the benchmark won't ever work for me because I think I fiddled with the occlusion and stuff. I know I'm running very high because for some reason FarmSim doesn't have Ultra. Very high graphics and full screen 1080. That's about all I can remember off the top of my head. I'm not good at remembering stuff. My memory is a sieve at the best of times. Also, the commands for the bots are kind of good, I think. Having the commands like Twitch on YouTube and YouTube on Twitch are good, so that I can just say, just put in this command. You can get a link. You know what? I'm actually gonna, because the stream's basically over. I'm gonna end the stream here. But what I'm gonna do before I do that is that was achievements. Options, graphics, benchmark. I'm basically going to run a benchmark on the absolute highest I can get the game to run. So let's see what I can benchmark the game as on absolutely maxed out while streaming. This is going to be funny. It shouldn't take too long to load in because it is hooked up to the. Did I re-download? Oh, did I re-download FarmSim to the C drive, solid state? So this is a bit of fun for you guys just to see what the hell my benchmark ends up being. It should, in theory, be about the same as Fahi's, but streaming is going to impact it. I think it's impacting the. Oh, I know what's happening. Yep. Okay, so bear with me. I've got to actually crash FarmSim right now. Well, force close it because there's a weird issue where I can't load in two maps one after the other. You thought I was going to look at the forward forces? No. That's going to be for a video. So let's run a benchmark. Now that I can run a benchmark, because I forgot that the I get an error periodically where it's load map finished crashes for some reason. I'm just gonna open up the log to make sure. Yep, it's loading everything in nicely. Alright, so here we go at the benchmark. 60 FPS solid. You have 3 screenshots of. Oh, take a look at it afterwards, and I might decide it needs to be edited. This is comical. I'm just getting solid 60. I'm using dev controls to show the frame rate as I go. I wonder if I was supposed to delimit the game before I did this. I'll message you on Steam, yeah, for it. I'll let you know what I think. And more importantly... Okay, here we go. We now have the game's FPS counter up. And it's just giving me a solid 60. That worker in the Deutz is doing crap work. However, a giant set up that scenario, that Deutz did not have correct alignment. My average frame rate is probably going to be 60 because that's what I've tried to balance the game out as. Because I mean, I don't need 120 FPS. I need at most 60 because that's what I'm going to be recording in. Should be no FPS limit. FPS on the top right is unlimited. FPS on the left is limited. So you can't actually see the top right FPS. It has bounced up to about 500 at one point. But it's pretty much giving you the same as the in-game one. But then again, the whole point is I've tried to balance it to 60. I mean, this is the game absolutely maxed out, and I'm streaming, which does take a bit of a hit. It does actually impact on performance. Some people seem to think that it doesn't, but it does. It really does. It is a real drain on performance. So my average is 60. My average is actually 60.8 FPS. And for the vast majority of it, I was at 60 FPS. Hey Wolfie, you've come at a really bad time because the stream's actually just calming down and coming to an end. I was asked on YouTube to do a benchmark, so I did an unofficial one because non-official settings. Okay, well, how do you get the official settings then? I'm gonna do one with official settings now. Options, graphics. Well, is it because I got anti-aliasing on? Let's turn these two off. Anti-aliasing and anisotropic filtering. Let's turn them off. And oh buggering hell! It's VSync. Your connection is bad. It could be Twitch. I've seen plenty of complaints that Twitch has been buggering things up. It's VSync that was causing that because I've just remembered. I've just remembered that this is a 60 FPS monitor. So if I turn these back up to 8, I guarantee I'm gonna get better than 60 FPS just by turning off VSync. Okay, so these need to be times 4. Okay, let's do an official benchmark. So, hardware profile must be on high. Screen resolution must be 1920 1080, which it is. Multi-sample anti-aliasing has to be times 4. Anisotropic filtering has to be times 4. VSync and adaptive VSync, which is the issue. How much? How much what? How much did I... How much time am I recording? I'm just finishing up now. I've been live for 2 hours. I'll be recording a video within the next hour or so. There's going to be one going up in... What time is it now? In 20 minutes. Over on YouTube at youtube.com/RainbowDave Gaming. Or youtube.com/c/RainbowDave Gaming. One of the... either one you'll find me. It's going to be... Today's Tuesday. It's going to be ATS. What did I do in ATS? Oh yes, I went from Reading to Las Vegas. That was a good trip. I talked about a whole bunch of crap. So let's now re-benchmark with the actual VSync turned off. You lose everything. Okay, let's benchmark now the proper benchmark settings. This is going to be comically high. Because that unofficial benchmark had VSync on, which limited the game to 60. Because I was a bit of a... Holy crap! So it's just caching everything now. This first run through is just letting it cache, and I'm still getting over 100, 90 to 120 FPS here. I'm expecting somewhere in the 150 range once everything is cached for the official benchmark. So this is going to be kind of funny. 200 FPS! Oh my god. I really want to run this now with my normal settings and see what the hell I get. There was 306 at the end. You get 15 on low. Ooh, that's not very good. I've never actually done this before, actually benchmarked the game. So here we go, resetting, and we're starting off at 160 FPS. So we're up around 120 solid. Pretty solid around 120. We dipped down to into the 90s. Now dipping into the hundreds. Kind of 100. I'm seeing 107 a lot. Oh, with VSync on. Turn off VSync. That actually does impact on the game. Down to the 80s and 90s because there is actually quite a lot on screen at the moment. So this is the official benchmarking settings that the Giants want you to use. And this is going to be bloody comical coming through here. 200 FPS. 200 I saw 230 flash up for a second. We're down to the 120s, 130s. 140 is flashing up. I saw 150. 150 plus. Oh, I saw a 6 there, a 7, 200. I saw 250, 270. 300. This is stupid. Good lord, Giants. This is going to be comical, isn't it? Just because essentially just because I've turned off VSync. And, delimited the game. I've taken off all of the FPS caps. Average FPS is 171.2, and at one point I hit 529. I hit 529 FPS doing the benchmark. The lowest was right at the start when it was 36, but the majority of it was ridiculous. So the benchmark score is 1,427. Beat that. That was stupid. I'm actually gonna look at the Ford Forces real quick. Just get another save game open. Wait until you do mine, or you do yours. Oh yeah, I'm just getting set up to check out the Ford Forces. I'm gonna swap my graphics settings back to what they normally are. I'm gonna keep VSync off. Screw it. I'm gonna load up the Ford Forces in Bjornholm, I guess. Yeah. 980 blows most things out of the water. It's not even a TI. I mean, if it was a 980 Ti, it would just be... Could you imagine if I did that on, like, NerdCube's computer with 2 Titans? Or does he have 3 Titans? Like, yeah, even one bloody Titan, I'd blow that out of the water, to be fair. Just turn off the help icons on the game. And we'll just... That was the wrong button. That was still the wrong button. We'll sell everything real quick. 60 already. So there's the 3,000, there's the 4,000, there's the 5,000, there's the 7,000, And he said the front loader one was in, and I want to test the front loader one twice, so I'll grab the in-game bale spike, which I may need to make a mod of, and I do have a modded shovel here. So, oh good lord, that has normal maps. They've got normal maps. They don't have giant tires, but they most definitely have normals. Yeah, could you imagine trying to play Farm Sim with 2 Titans? Yeah, this thing is maxing out at 55 kilometers an hour to be... oh yeah, they've set the grip coefficient too low here. It's got the 2013 grip, so it really needs to be driven. Let's try driving this at 33 kilometers an hour. I mean, farmers' hands don't move, but that's fine. Yeah, you don't want to drive like an idiot in these, but that's kind of to be expected. Sounds good, looks good, tastes good, all that stuff. Does this have still the IC? I need to disable drive control real quick. So, the IC is part of the model, but it's not actually in the game. So the IC controls appear, but they don't work. I think if I hold down space again, it'll, yeah, re-enable that. Lovely. You're only interested in this guy and this guy. I don't blame you. I like the 3 and the 5, but the 4 and the 7 are kind of the more famous ones. I do like the 5FL. This is my personal favourite of the lot because of the tanko loader. Do the beacons work? Fine, if it doesn't work with my beacon mod though. Ah! Yeah, that's an issue. I don't think the loader is actually going to work. Because it looks like what's happened... Yeah, I don't think it's even going to work if I mod something in. Because... Try a telehandler bucket. Let's try the tele bale spike then. It looks like what's happened is that the pickup point is down here, which is fine, but it's actually hard. It's stuck down there. It's not linked to the arm at all, which is an issue. Okay, telehandler bucket. Okay, that works then. It... You know what? It actually looks right on the second pass. Yeah, that looks actually kind of right. I mean, it does look a bit dodgy, I'm not gonna lie. But if you can get something onto it, I mean... Now for another experiment. Okay, so we've tried telehandler buckets. We've tried normal front loader buckets. What happens... This is me being stupid now. What happens if I try a skid steer bucket? In theory, this shouldn't work at all, but let's find out. In theory, it doesn't work. In practice, it doesn't work. Thank goodness. But I say I have another skid steer available that has a slightly different bucket design. Let's try the Vertex bucket. As you can see, it does have a slightly different design to the attachment. Okay. I don't mind using telehandler stuff. If that's what it takes to get the Ford 5000 to work properly, I don't mind. Oh, good lord, now I remember where I've got VSync turned on. What FPS am I running at the moment? 60, solid, good. Yeah. Oh, it's not showing up on the stream. Is it? Okay. It kind of is. I'm getting screen tearing like mad. Sorry if you get motion sick. Yeah, I like these guys. They're definitely... I'm willing to overlook the issues. Hey, they even put indicators on. You get 4 FPS with the official, and I get 170 whatever. That's the difference between, like, I'm not trying to offend you here for it, but that's the difference between a cheapo laptop graphics card, because graphics card and laptops are always cheapo and crap, and a GTX 980. Oh yes. I like that movement. It's a nice range of motion with fully extended. And nice height too, that's kind of impressive height for an old tractor. I mean, I'd need a weight on the back, but that's definitely not an issue. And to be fair, the model holds up nicely. Normally I complain that, oh, the model's so old for 2013. It's in modding, so it holds up nicely. Yeah, the fan doesn't work anymore, and all the fancy scripts are gone, but I mean, my bonus is I use real terrain, so it doesn't need the fancy scripts. It really doesn't. So I want the TM Series 15. No, I'm good with what I got now, to be quite honest. I'll edit the crap out of these things to get them working the way I want them to. I won't fix the front loader issue with the 5000, because I mean that attaches somewhat correctly. I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, all I need to do is up the GS toggle vehicle debug. GS toggle. Oh, maybe it's. Oh, no. Network? It's not network debug. It is GS. Vehicle toggle debug rendering. Because I want to see this stuff. I do need to disconnect that to get. Oh, crap on a cracker! They've screwed the horsepower up. This thing apparently has 300 horsepower in reverse. Yeah, 320 horsepower. What's the? What am I looking for? Yeah, the slip is set wrong. and it looks like gear ratios are slightly wrong as well. I might need a lot more editing than I have skill. So and that works perfectly. And real terrain is working with this thing really quite nicely, the looks of it. Somewhat nicely because it's vibrating. The beacon unfortunately doesn't work quite right. I might slip that off and try and replace it with an FS15 spec beacon. Yeah, that's going to be some editing. In any case, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all very much for watching. There'll be a video live in about 5 minutes of American Truck Simulator. We'll be going from Reading, where we ended the last video, to Las Vegas. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.